Welcome, everyone, to Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast. We got Ryan Enjoys Wrestling and MWO, and we are glad that you are tuning into our WWE edition, the week of October 11th, where we're going to talk all things Crown Jewel, Monday Night Raw, and a jam-packed NXT. We even got a segment. We're going to do our LVD, MVD. If you haven't tuned in lately or before that, it's where we talk about the least and most valuable people in pro wrestling of WWE for this week. Ryan, how jacked are you, man? You ready?
I am pretty stoked. And there were a lot of news and reports over the weekend about the WWE shaking things up in the writers' room, especially when it comes to SmackDown. And I think we saw a noticeable difference this past week on SmackDown. I know we won't talk about it, but there was a huge difference in the quality of the show this week on SmackDown. And then Crown Jewel was fantastic. And then it followed up with an amazing Raw. So I'm very jacked to talk about the week that was in the WWE.
All right, well, let's hit that music.
Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
Yes, sir. And I didn't hear about the writers' room shakeup, but I definitely saw it on Monday Night Raw because, well, was it a shakeup or is it just Triple H? And I don't know. But all I know is that SmackDown happened. Crown Jewel was at 5 a.m. Monday Night Raw was at 5 a.m. I had to watch it afterwards, both of them. NXT was at normal p.m. So I love that. It was a lot of controversy, a lot of not controversy, a lot of everything going on this, man. This is like, we have people happy, we got people angry. I made a bunch of TikTok posts that finally got views and people are hating me but loving me. What say you, Ryan? We're gonna break it all down, but do you like the everything going on?
Yeah, I enjoyed Raw and Crown Jewel. I like the fact that the pay-per-views were early in the morning and then they were over by lunchtime, and you were able to talk wrestling with your friends and coworkers and all that fun stuff. So I did dig that. And now we get ready for Survivor Series. We get ready to come back stateside for Saturday night main events and War Games and the rest of the John Cena retirement tour. So, I don't think the road's going to stop anytime soon.
You are right. And what's up to our boy who shot out at us in the comments? What's going on, my dude? And Ryan, it must feel good to be in high school again because you got to talk wrestling with people. I haven't. The only person I know that knows wrestling is you and all the people that like and hate me on TikTok. So that's all I know.
Yeah, no, I don't. I work from home, so I was really talking to myself. So, I was in my kitchen just, thinking about all the cool things in WWE, but it was cool to watch Raw early in the morning, just after dropping the kids off and coming home and watching Raw and then breaking it all down. It was a good time.
Your Raw was also at 8 a.m. I would have loved that too. And also, if there's one thing I love to do, it's to play with myself. All right, let's get into it. Crown Jewel, baby. You ready? We are going to do our infamous 2 thumbs with attitudes, where we each are going to give 1 thumb up or 1 thumb down to each of the matches. We keep it real. We ain't doing no 5-star Dave Meltzer, no 4, no 9s, no 10s.
We'd be
no
right,
4s,
unlike
no,
Dave Meltzer.
100%. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dave Meltzer. Everybody believe what he says. We do, if you are 90% or less, you get a thumbs down. So that means you can have a C plus match, but we got to give you a thumbs down. So we can like it. It's got to be above average. So a B- or higher, in our opinion, that gets the thumbs up. I break a record doing this 2 thumbs with attitudes, just so you know. I break a record here for myself on thumbs ups and thumbs downs. But let's get into it. Opening match, which you completely predicted incorrectly. We had Bronson Reed getting his comeuppance by defeating Roman Reigns, calling himself the tribal thief, although he took nothing from him, but he did stand victorious. Help or not, this is only the 2nd time Roman Reigns has been pinned in a singles match in, I think, 5 years, 4 years,
yeah,
5
the
years,
other one was
somewhere
Cody
around.
Rhodes. Yeah.
Yes, and before that, it was my boy
Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin, which was like 5 or so years ago, right? Or 6 years. It was so long
Yeah, it
ago.
was a
But
long
yes.
time ago.
So, I mean, come on. Bronson Reed and Cody Rhodes. That's pretty cool. So what say you? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
I'm going to go thumbs way up for this match. This was a good way to open the show. Bronson Reed looks like $1 million. This was the biggest win of his career. Roman Reigns is just, he's going to bring it no matter what he does. Everything in this match was good. The stuff at the end with the Usos coming out and Roman being legitimately pissed at them. You could hear him say at one point, "I don't want to see you guys until Christmas." And then he was like, "People don't think I can do shit on my own, and here you all are. I told you all to stay out, stay back." And you can tell he's trying to like change the perception of Roman of himself. That the big knock on his title reign was that he can never win on his own. So now he's trying to do this on his own, and the Usos are holding him back. But no, this was a great match. I didn't understand what the Australian street fight was compared to a normal street fight, but other than that, it was a fantastic match. A great, great use of weapons. Bron Breakker showed up. The Usos showed up. It was just a good match all around. Really, really good match. 2 thumbs way up.
Yes, sir. I give it a thumbs up as well. This match was an A+ in my opinion. Good shit. Overall, even the ending, like you said, I liked everything Roman said. I liked that they messed up and cost him, but they were trying not to, even though he told them not to come out. I like Bronson Reed getting the win. He should have gotten that win. Should have got the first time, but he got it this time. And I like that they didn't write off Roman. Roman doesn't need to be written off. He just kind of went off and did his own thing. But yeah, I dug it all. I'm very excited to see what holds moving forward, especially once we break down Monday Night Raw, because that plays a lot more into it. The division, we're off to a really, really good start at Crown Jewel Perth. I was actually surprised too that Bronson didn't get a bigger ovation. That's how over Roman Reigns is, because they were brilliant. At least get like a couple churs here and there, but no, he really got kind of snubbed out a little bit, which was surprising. But I mean,
I noticed that too.
Roman Reigns, yeah,
yes,
sir.
Great match and great way to put Bronson over for sure.
I agree. All right, what's next? All right, and the only match I predicted incorrectly, I think you went 5 for 5, right? Because I think we were the same other than this match, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so this is the only one I messed up on. Stephanie Vaquer defeated Tiffany Stratton to become the new pointless Crown Jewel champion. I thought we'd get some Julia interference. We got nothing, which bummed me out even more because we'll see when we do at the main event. We didn't get any interference, so they could have done it here. But I don't know. What say you? Stephanie Vaquer, Tiffany Stratton. It was quick. It was good. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm going to go very, very fringe thumbs up. I thought this match was good. It wasn't great. There's a reason that, it was the second match on the card instead of Roman and Bronson Reed. Stephanie Vaquer did great things. Tiffany Stratton looks good. They love Tiffany Stratton. I was surprised that she actually didn't win, even though I predicted Stephanie Vaquer because she just got the women's world title. But I'm going to go fringe thumbs up. It was fine. There was nothing to write home about. There was nothing bad about it. Nothing really memorable about it either. It was just it just happened. I am a little concerned now about what happens with Tiffany Stratton moving forward, because anytime these Crown Jewel matches happen, I know last year Gunther's momentum stalled significantly when he lost the Crown Jewel Championship. Nia Jax's momentum stalled significantly when she lost in Crown Jewel. And I'm worried about Tiffany Stratton. So hopefully the WWE avoids that. But other than that, this match was fine. It was, but it wasn't bad, wasn't good. I would say it's about 80%. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, I give it a thumbs up too. I liked it. It was the quickest match, but it was still effective. It was still good. They needed to make some more time for the next match after this. The one thing was another thing. This was the start of a trend of people that don't ever get pinned who got pinned. I think Tiffany Stratton has been pinned how many times in single matches since she's made it to the big? It's been a long time. Yeah, so this is back-to-back people who don't ever get pinned, who took an L. It kind of got me on the right foot. I kind of liked it. I like being surprised, even if people did think Stephanie was going to win. They weren't sure. So I like seeing this kind of stuff. And Tiffany tag, I think she'll be just fine. I think the WWE freaking loves her. I just think they're vibing on the Julia Stephanie Vaquer train right now. So yeah, but we'll see moving forward. But yeah, I like this match. Thumbs up for sure. All right, John Cena versus AJ Styles. I heard this was a love letter, is what
That's
Some
what
people are calling it. It's a love letter. Yeah. But nonetheless, this was a match where they did a whole bunch of other people's moves. We saw things from the Tombstone to Bray Wyatt to Sweet Chin Music to shoot. There was all sorts of moves getting pulled out of here. John Cena gets the win. It was a long match. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm gonna go thumbs up. This was the match of the night. This could be match of the year. It was that damn good. I liked. Normally, I'm against finishers like that and everyone kicking out of all the finishers. But in this sense, it made sense because they were all people that John Cena faced. So it was people that he was paying tribute to. Like he's faced Shawn Michaels, he's faced Bray Wyatt, he faced The Undertaker, he faced Randy Orton, he faced CM Punk. All these people that he was hitting their finishers on. It was just, I thought that was a really cool moment. Like if he can't wrestle him, he can't. He's wrestled Randy Orton on the retirement tour, but he can't wrestle The Undertaker. He can't wrestle Bray Wyatt anymore, unfortunately. So this was his way of paying tribute, and I like that. And then AJ Styles looked fantastic as usual. This was, there's really not much else to say about this match. This was the match of the night for me. It was probably match of the year. I want to know where the hell this has been with John Cena over the for all these years, because if he this match, his Cody Rhodes match at SummerSlam, and even the Logan Paul match that he had recently were all freaking bangers. And it's like, wait, like where was this when in 2005, 2006, 2007? We would have never said, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. We would have never said you can't wrestle. We would have never said you just have the 5 moves of doom, because he was pulling out moves all over the place that I've never seen him pull out before. At one point, he even tried to hit the 619, but before AJ Styles blocked it. It was just, it was incredible. It was just a great match from start to finish. And, the right person won. John Cena won. As much as I wanted AJ to win, as much as I thought he probably should have won, the right person did win in John Cena. And now he has 4 more dates left on the retirement tour, and I'm curious to see where we go from here. But this was a fantastic match from beginning to end.
Yeah, and if he wrestles 4 people, 3 people, 2 people, 1 people, we'll see. Time will tell. This is a huge thumbs up for me. Not only is this the match of the night, I'm gonna say this is my match of the year, and I don't even think it's close. This is it. This is that kind of thing where you have 2 all-time greats wrestle, and you know it's gonna be good, and then they do something you didn't think they were gonna do that made it even better. And it's like you get all these matches in AEW where you get the, Okada versus Kenny Omega, or Kyle Fletcher versus, Hangman, and you're like, this match is going to be good. And oh my God, it's a 5-star match because they went on for 45 minutes, but it's the same match they always do. You know what to expect. It was going to be good, and it was good. Like, you know what I mean? This match, you knew it was going to be good, but holy shit, you didn't know this is what they were going to do. Yeah. You didn't know they're going to pull out. You didn't know he was going to do the Sister Abigail in the middle of the ring, do it, sit there, let the fireflies go on while he was sitting there just soaking in that moment, wanting to cry. This was like, it should have been finished that way, by the way. But this match, just doing the tombstone into his AA to finish off the match, not being able to do the Sweet Chin music. So AJ was like, hold my beer. I can do the Sweet Chin music, and tuning up the band and doing the Sweet Chin music. This was like classic in-ring storytelling. It was beautiful. And I didn't care because it wasn't their finisher. So when you can't do someone else's finisher, you probably won't finish them. So it was okay that they were kicking out. It's not like they were kicking out of AAs and this and that. They were kicking out of other people's finishers. It was good stuff. And my favorite part, my favorite part was Bray Wyatt, but my other favorite part was that John Cena was going to try to show us who he's going to wrestle in his last match by doing Dirty Dom's finishing move. He was trying to do the 619. He was going to frog splash him afterwards, but AJ blocked it. But he gave us a little hint of who he's going to wrestle in the future as well, because Cena versus Dom is going to be the last match of his career. It was good stuff. I loved it. I'm all for this. I'll watch this match 50 more times. I don't care how long it is. I'll watch it over and over and over again. It was so much fun. And the crowd loved it. Loved every second.
Yeah. No, it was fantastic, man. Like, not much else to say about it. It was that freaking entertaining. I loved it so much.
All right, we had the hometown favorite who got a hometown welcoming. Holy shit, did she get cheered? Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defeated the Kabuki Warriors. We were both wrong. We both predicted the right person, but we were both wrong in the sense that nothing happened. No turning, no not turning. It was just a match. Rhea and Io Sky win. The crowd's happy. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm going to go very fringe thumbs up. I thought this match was really good. Not quite as good as the main event, not quite as good as the match before it. And I think it was John Cena and AJ Styles was a tough act to follow. And I think these women did the best that they could. But I thought the match itself was really strong. Everybody looked good. Heel Asuka is, with the gaslighting and everything is fantastic. And then Io Sky always brings it in every match. And if anyone's out there, if you haven't heard her interview on Chris Van Fleet, go check it out. It's actually really, really good too. And then, Rhea Ripley, looked like $1 million out there as well. So I'm going to go, fringe thumbs up. Wasn't quite as good as the opener. Wasn't quite as good as, nowhere near the level of Cena Styles, and nowhere near the level of the next match that we're going to talk about. But it was good. It was fine.
Yeah, it's definitely an above average match. I give it a thumbs up for sure. 4 for 4 right now. I mean, these 4 girls, 4 of the most talented women in all of professional wrestling, bringing it, hitting each other hard, doing good maneuvers. The storytelling was great. Wondering who was going to win. Wondering if, Kairi Sane was going to turn, and we'll talk about that. Actually, we're not, but she didn't turn on Raw either, so she's still hanging in there. We still got the Kabuki Warriors. Io and Rhea still look like they're friends. I loved it all. Good stuff, and she had to win. Rhea had to win. Not going to Australia and having your biggest female wrestler lose in her hometown. Nah, fam.
No.
Not happening. Good choice. All right, the main event. Seth freaking Rollins defeated Cody Rhodes to become the new Pointless Crown Jewel champion. He did it with no outside interference or help. He just didn't do it clean. He put on the watch that Cody Rhodes gave him and knocked him out with it. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins wins. Supposedly, when he did a freaking corner to corner, what is it called? Yeah. Coast to coast. Thank you. That Shane McMahon used to do, but he did it head first like an idiot. Supposedly landed on his left arm. People are speculating, but I wear a sling when I, have sex too hard. Like things aren't like slings aren't like internal damage. You know what I mean? That's not like meaning anything, but nonetheless, they're saying that he's injured. But what say you? Thumbs up, thumbs down on Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes.
Thumbs way up. This was probably the second best match of the night. I'd have to put Roman Reigns third, this match second, and then Cena Styles first. But this match was freaking good. Everything about it, the story, the cool thing about this entire event, when we talk about AEW, like people are like, oh, they tell stories in the ring. And sometimes we're like, no, they really don't.
No, they don't. Yeah.
Cena and Styles told a story in the ring. Cody and Seth told a story in the ring. Roman and Bronson told a story in the ring. And these guys, like this entire event was all in stories in the ring. Some of the build up for these matches was not very strong. Some of the build up for these matches was mediocre. And so they left it all in the ring. And that's exactly what we wanted. And that's what we got with Seth and Cody. This match from beginning to end was fantastic. Seth's mannerisms, he's fully embraced the heel role. If he did wrestle that match hurt, because he did that coast to coast like 10 minutes into the match, he continued to go on with a potential torn rotator cuff is what they're saying. And if he did that, that's painful. And if he did that, he gutted it out, then that's just a testament to his character and just how tough he is. And he finally got that monkey off his back. He got the victory over Cody Rhodes. The one thing that's eluded him over the last couple of years. And now, he goes into Raw feeling good about himself. So we think, but it was a good match. It was a good way to close out the show, and the right person won for sure. Thumbs way up.
I agree. Thumbs up for me too. What up, Wes? Thumbs up for me too. This match was the second best match of the night. It was a banger. Good close falls. I like that Seth didn't have anybody help him win. He said he was going to do it himself. He earned it himself, which is kind of weird too, because that alludes to what he talks about on Raw, which everyone says he did because he was injured. So unless he got injured and they changed the ending of this match, that doesn't really make sense. But nonetheless, he hit him with the watch. I love it. I love everything about it. Cody needed to lose. There was no point for him to win. And this was continuing the trends, right? Roman, twice in 5 years. Tiffany Stratton hasn't been pinned and freaking all year, I don't think. Cody Rhodes never gets pinned in singles match. I mean, this was this was the people who don't get pinned getting pinned. I loved it. And once again, we shit on this event because it sucks. All I had to do was get out of Saudi. Once I got out of Saudi, and went to Australia, all of a sudden Crown Jewel's a hit. Weird, huh?
Yeah.
Weird how that works. All of a sudden, these pointless matches were fun. They meant something. They were entertaining. Very odd, because Crown Jewels are usually trash. So strange.
And I also think WWE was under a lot of pressure with the stinker that was WrestlePalooza. I think they had to pull together a really good show. And I think, Roman and Bronson Reed was added at the last minute. I think that's probably one of the reasons why was we had that shitty pay-per-view a month before. Let's make it up to them. And man, did they deliver with a fantastic show from start to finish. I don't think we've ever done all thumbs up in every single match. The two of us together. And this was one of those shows that every match was fantastic.
That's what I said. It's a record. First ever all thumbs up. Two dudes approved.
Both of us,
two
too.
Thumbs.
Yeah.
Both of us. Yes, sir. All right. Well, with that said, let's get into Raw because holy shit, did some stuff happen on Raw. Let's just get into it. Rip the Band-Aid off. Everybody knows if you watch wrestling, obviously, or why else would you be listening to us except for our beautiful, sexy faces and voices? But The Vision and Seth Rollins open up Raw, and Seth Rollins says he is different from Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns has always needed help, and I haven't needed help. I don't need Braun. I don't need Braun. I don't need Paul. I don't need the Shield. I don't need anybody. I'm Seth freaking Rollins. Mic drop. Then he's in the back later on, and he's talking to them about how much he loves them. Braun's the future. Braun's the other future. Paul Heyman's the greatest. They look into each other's eyes. They kiss. They share a moment. Then a match happens. After it, they beat down the people. I won't say yet because we haven't talked about it. They clear out the ring, and then Seth goes on a love fest again about how the Vision are taking over, baby. His arm is waving everywhere. It looks super broken in a sling. He's like swinging around like this. He's lifting him up. He's doing this. And all of a sudden, Bron Breakker is like, no, sir, and spears the shit out of him. Paul Heyman sells like he always does. He looks like he just got shot in the butt or walked in on his wife having sex with another man. He has the best impressions where he's just like in shock, like he didn't plan it. Bronson Reed even looks shocked. And then Bron goes up to him and says, look, you're either with me or against me. Tsunami time. Paul Heyman looks insecure. They all raise their hands. So my thing is something that we haven't talked about. With all of this, we can break it all down. Injury, pointlessness. You made a video about it, so you can talk about all the stuff you want to talk about too, about how you feel about it, the rushness and so on with that. But nobody talked about the point of this being that it didn't look like Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman knew this was going to happen. Unless they were selling it on purpose to make it look like they didn't know, but why do that? Looks like this was a Bron Breakker idea. Last second, he did it and basically said, come with me or else, because I'm that dude. And they decided to go with it. No one, I haven't really heard anyone talk about that. Yeah. I've heard people saying all the reasons, but not the fact that, hey, maybe they're going to next week be like, I don't know if this is a good idea. On Raw, they could straight be like, I need Seth. Like, why did you do? Who knows what's going to happen moving forward? But what say you? Too soon, not too soon? Let's hear your spiel.
Yeah, it was way too soon. It took me a while to process this. And, I know everyone else is, creature of the moment. They fall into the moment and they're like, oh my God, this is the greatest ending to Monday Night Raw in history. But this was not good. And there's really no logical way that you can come out of this with any good outcomes whatsoever. Does this turn Seth Rollins into a babyface now? So now all of a sudden, if he's not hurt and the injury is, in fact, it's better than what they think it is, and he's fine. He's a babyface now. So what does this mean for War Games? Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are going to team together now? That's dumb. After everything that happened with Paul Heyman turning on Roman at WrestleMania and all the stuff, Seth Rollins cost Roman his 4-year championship reign. But yeah, let's team together against, like, Seth Rollins wouldn't team with Roman last year, and they were both baby faces at War Games. But he's going to team with him now to stop Braun and Bronson Reed. That didn't make any sense. And then let's say the injury is legit and he's not hurt, or he is legitimately hurt, and this is how you write him off TV, like one tsunami and one spear. Now they could probably do more on that next week if they have to strip him of the championship or whatever. But this was just rushed. This was way too soon. And then what is this? What happens to War? Like, Are we going to get Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, and 3 random heels for War Games now? And like, it's not going to hit the same without Seth Rollins if the injury is legit. And then, CM Punk became #1 contender, which we'll talk about in a minute. But what is this? Like, the match was CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. So I don't, as much as I'd like to see CM Punk versus Bron Breakker, I think that's later on down the line. CM Punk versus Bronson Reed is later on down the line. Like, we've all been waiting for this payoff with Punk and Rollins, and now we might not get it. Just this was just not a good way to end the show. I thought this was way, way, way too soon. And what no one's even talking about anymore too is Bronson Reed beating Roman Reigns. Like, that was completely forgotten about by the time Raw ended, because all everyone was talking about was Bron Breakker turning on Seth Rollins. Bronson Reed just had the biggest match of his career, the biggest win of his career, completely overshadowed by what Bron Breakker did.
Well, not only did Bronson Reed destroy Roman Reigns, he then destroyed Jimmy Uso earlier in the night. He was like on a this was the highest division that had ever been. They were the best they've ever been. So why randomly do this? Well, as you said, I've always said that Triple H is a troll to the online community, the IWC, the minority of pro wrestling fans. He is a troll to us. He does it all the time. He'll do shit purposely just to piss people off. He'll pretend like he's bringing people back because you guys cheered for it, and we all fall for it. Now he's doing it again. You said we live in a world of right now, in the moment, shock value. He knows that. He knows that's what the IWC wants, because he wants the Santies, the con mans, the Wheezies to do fake reactions so he can post it onto his things, because he knows that's what they're going to do, right? The whole like, oh my God, I'm Santy, I just crapped my pants. Oh, what am I going to do? Because that's what they want, right? Because they want to pop that on the air. You know what I mean? And it's good for television. It makes people think it's better than what it is. That's why they're doing it. That's why we're getting these quick things. And it's stupid. And it is. Nonetheless, I will let it cook, because there's a lot of ways it can go. No, I do not think Seth is injured, because like you said, if he was injured, then why not just have the #1 contender pick up right where he left off and just beat him right then and there? If he was really injured, then why not have the Vision legitimately destroy him? One tsunami and one spear, I can take that and survive. Like I said, John Moxley just got burned in a casket a few weeks ago, and he was back 4 days later. Like, this is no like.
Roman Reigns took like 35 spears and
100%, and he came back a month later. Actually, yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, to lose the title, it would, and then if he just vacates it, then once again he'd have to leave. It would make more sense for him to vacate the title. And then Bron Breakker be like, oh, you're a little bitch. Spear, tsunami. And then they say, that's what you get for giving up the title. The Vision is like winners, not losers who quit because they have an arm. That's how you sell an injury. So that's why I don't think it's an injury. And if it is an injury, then this was planned before the injury, and it has nothing to do with it. Now the injury they have to try to work with, because I don't see how any of this makes sense to Seth being injured. I think this is a Triple H in the moment. I want clicks and views. WrestlePalooza sucked dog shit. I should have listened to MWO originally when I said how WrestlePalooza should have ended, because then it would have got people talking. I didn't get people talking. How do I get people talking now? I'm going to have them do Raw after a fire-ass grand. And what time is Raw at? 5 a.m., 8 a.m. Eastern time. I want people to talk all freaking day about it, so people will tune in, go on Netflix and watch multiple times. This is all a ploy. Triple H is a very smart man. People act like he's not. He really, really is. He knows the IWC. That's all it is. But moving forward, it could be Brock. It could be Braun and Bronson just leading the way. It could be Seth trolling, and basically it's a fake injury, and CM Punk goes to try to wrestle him, and then the Vision come back out and help him win, and it was a huge play, and people are like, well, it's already been done before. Well, not really, because one was an injury, and then this would be a turn, not an injury. Because remember, WWE has not said anything about an injury. They haven't posted about it. They haven't mentioned it. So we have to stop saying like the WWE is trying to trick us with the injury. The only person is Dave Meltzer, and Dave Meltzer's about as reliable as the diarrhea I had last week when I was sick. He's that reliable. It's just, he's pointless, right? So, and with what Wes just said, I said that in my comments too, War Games, it doesn't have to be these people. It can be the MFT versus the Wyatts. Is that a womp womp? Oh, 100% it's a womp womp. But people will tune in. They'll watch it as long as the women's one is banging enough, right? Because the War Games usually is a bigger deal. But if you have MFT versus the Wyatts at War Games as that, the main event can still be CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins, and that'll fill seats anyway, so the War Game match won't matter. That's my thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think those are all good points. I still think they rushed this, and
100%. I agree with you.
Yeah, and even if this was a way to launch Bron Breakker into main event status,
he's not ready.
Like he's not ready. And if this was all a ruse and this is all fake, then it's gonna lessen the impact when he does inevitably turn on him sometime next year as well. So it's like, okay, did he really turn? Because now if he turns on him again, did he really do it, or is this another fake out? Like they're gonna have to come up with a way to turn him. I feel like he should have gotten that Batista moment or the Randy Orton moment when they broke out of Evolution and became the top guys in the company. And now this just feels like another shocking moment that happens on a Monday Night Raw in October.
Yep.
And how do we get to WrestleMania from here? There's so many unanswered questions. I'll let it cook too, but man, I did not like this at all.
Yeah, so far I don't see a way, but hopefully there is a way. Something else I thought was way too quick, and never mind. CM Punk defeated one LA Knight and Jey Uso to become the #1 contender. Next up for Seth freaking Rollins or whoever the champion may be. This is where I think it was rushed, and I think it might have been rushed if Seth Rollins is injured. Because if he hurt his arm, I feel like Seth can still have a match good enough to lose his belt, right? I mean, Shawn Michaels wrestled with a broken back at WrestleMania and lost it to Stone Cold. I think he can tape up his arm a little bit to whatever he needs to fix and wrestle a match. I mean, Cody did it with a pec, you know what I mean? So I'm assuming that's what they're hoping, and I think that's why, because in my opinion, we should have got Punk versus Seth at WrestleMania. So why have Punk win the #1 contendership when you can have LA Knight win it? LA Knight can win, face Seth, have LA Knight lose to Seth, and then Punk and Jey Uso were having drama. Have Punk and Jey Uso wrestle while we're building up to it. There are so many ways to get there. Rushing CM Punk right now, I feel like CM Punk can't lose. But you can't have Seth lose either. You can't have him lose, kicked out of the division and lose. Now what are we doing? So the only way that makes sense is if he is injured and this is a way to write him off. So CM Punk beats him, and then after the match, the Vision probably then finally come out and put a beating on him, maybe with Brock Lesnar or whoever joins the crew, and just completely demolishes him. And by the way, for the record, I stated that I thought Brock Lesnar was going to be added to the group, and everyone came at me like, Brock's not a leader of a group. Brock can't talk. But I never once said Brock was going to be the leader of the group. I said Brock was going to join the group. And when Brock joins the group, you can picture Paul Heyman being the leader of 3 monsters who he's going to terrorize and allow to destroy all of professional wrestling. If that doesn't sound good, I don't know what the hell will entertain you. There is no leader. Paul Heyman is going to be the damn puppet who's going to fetch, and have him kill everybody. Nobody would beat those 3 guys, and Brock can do it on a part-time basis. So that's what I meant. But nonetheless, what say you? Did you like Punk winning? Do you like, I mean, they didn't say win. It could be a Survivor Series, it could be a Saturday Night's Main Event. It could be, those
apparently
are so
apparently it is on Saturday Night's Main Event.
Did they announce that?
Triple H did on X. He wrote that CM Punk has something to prove, and he gets his opportunity for the World Heavyweight Championship on Saturday Night's Main Event. But he didn't say who he's facing. He left that out.
He didn't. Well, of course he didn't. Right? Yeah, he's trolling. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So that's on Saturday, November the 1st. So 2 weeks from this coming Saturday.
And so you're gonna have CM Punk get a title shot 2 weeks from now. That just makes no sense. Rushed.
Yeah, that's what makes me think that's why there's a small part of me that thinks that this whole Vision thing it is a work. It's all part of a story, and that even the turn, like I don't think they really turned on Seth. I think this was a way for them to, think that CM Punk thinks, oh, I'm guaranteed the title shot now. I'm going to get my world title.
Yep.
They're going to take it away from Seth. Seth is hurt. I'm going to expose that broken arm, and I'm going to get him. And then all of a sudden the Vision comes out. They take out CM Punk, and then Seth Rollins gets the pinfall that way, and everything is great in the group. I think that might be the direction that they're going.
I said that on
which would then continue it to all the way to WrestleMania.
I said that on my TikTok, and it's blowing up. It's got like thousands of views. That's what I said. 100%. I had one guy in my comments tell me, good thing you just keep buying tickets or something like that. I'm like, What the copy? I hate copy and paste comments, y'all. If you're gonna comment and come at me intellectually. Don't come at me with stupid.
I got
You're a
told
moron. You don't. Yeah. Stop.
I got told to stop watching because they were like, "All you do is complain." I'm like, oh, just because I dislike one thing from Raw, I gotta stop. I'm gonna stop watching wrestling altogether now. Okay.
Yeah. No. Do you like the tush push? No. Well, then stop watching football, bro. Get out of here. Stop watching.
Yeah.
You don't like the tush push. Stop complaining. Just don't watch football anymore.
You
Just give up on it
don't,
all.
you don't like Taylor Swift at Chiefs games? Stop watching all of the NFL.
Yeah, stop watching. Oh, you had an Eminem song come out that you didn't like? Well, then why do you even listen to him? Stop listening to him. Don't listen to him at all. You don't like that one song. You're a moron. That's what people sound like, just so you know in the comments. But nonetheless, yeah, I think I think if it's a ruse, that's the perfect ruse. The next 2 weeks building up, Seth's alone. He's sad. He has no friends. CM Punk thinks he has him right where he wants him. Match is going on. Punk hits him, poof, go to sleep, and then out comes Braun and Bronson to help Seth win. And Seth is the mastermind that he always says he is. I mean, it writes itself, my friends. It writes itself.
He did say he had a prophecy where he saw big things happen for the Vision, and maybe this is what he's talking about.
There's been two things guaranteed since Seth came in the WWE, right? One, he's always one step ahead with his vision, and two, CM Punk will never touch WWE Heavyweight Championship. So I'm telling you, and when it happens again, and I profit it again, and I can repost that TikTok that I sent, I want to see how many people who constantly tell me I should just be buying tickets. All right.
You should become the TikTok. You'll become the TikTok visionary, the revolutionary. You'll be MW freaking O.
Dude, my freaking wrestling opinion. I just need to get his laugh down. I can't get it. I'll figure it out. His voice is way too Scarlett Johansson for me.
Put on Brandy's
I would dress like him.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I'll wear all my girlfriend's clothes. Maybe I could fit him. I don't know. Sometimes. Depends on how big my gut is at the moment. All right, let's get into something that was completely pointless, and that was when Stephanie Vaquer. We had the Judgment Day girls lose once again, this time to Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez lost. After that, Stephanie Vaquer was in the background talking about ticket sales to Crown Jewel. Was she not? Wasn't that what she was talking about? It was a pretty much pointless interview. And then in walks Roxanne Perez, challenging Stephanie Vaquer to a title match for some reason. Because when you lose, you get title matches. And then Stephanie Vaquer was like, "You're on." And then Roxanne was like, "I don't think so, bitch. My time only." And walked out. And I was left perplexed. What say you?
Yeah, I got nothing. I mean, this was, it was. This was
good
all
match, but
yeah, it was. It was
the title.
It was all,
what are we like?
Yeah, and all you have to do to earn a title match is to ask for it. Like CM Punk just had to become #1 contender against Jey Uso and LA Knight in a triple threat. But Roxanne Perez is like, "Hey, can I have a shot at that?" And Stephanie's like, "Sure, go ahead, come on, let's go." Like it was stupid. And then I didn't like the Judgment Day girls losing either. I feel like the momentum for them has completely stalled again, and it's just I don't understand. And then, this was, and then Stephanie Vaquer, like you have her after winning the Crown Jewel Championship, just talk about the attendance at Crown Jewel, the attendance in Australia. Why not have Rhea Ripley do that and let her get a pop? Let her, the hometown girl, let her get a huge pop from the crowd that absolutely loved her. I got nothing about this. This was just, it was fine. I didn't like Roxanne taking the L. I didn't like any of the Judgment girls losing. But it is what it is.
Yeah. And then Stephanie Vaquer, you're trying to build her up. This ain't the way. I mean, giving her good matches. Roxanne Perez will give her a hell of a good match. They've wrestled before. I get that. But Roxanne's not that. This is it. Out of all the talented women you have on Raw, Roxanne deserves a title shot. Like Raquel would have made more sense. With that said, go ahead. Yeah, bust it up. Dirty Dom, you want to continue with Judgment Day? That was our last topic. So Dirty Dom, what'd you think about all that? He was busy. They were losing. He was winning. Finn was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. It was a good week for Dirty Dom, and I like all his shenanigans. I like that they show Rusev talking to Penta backstage, and then Dirty Dom like walks up, and then while Rusev is like still on screen, and he like sees Rusev, and he like backs out of the shot
with
like,
both belts. With
both belts, he's like, okay, nothing to see here. And you even hear Michael Cole before they go to commercial. He's like, "Good call, Dom." It was just. He's completely embraced this character, and that he was the highlight of Monday Night Raw for me was just Dom and all of his antics. And then the match itself with him and Penta was good. He still has Rusev gunning for him, and now maybe even John Cena. So I like what they're doing.
Yeah.
AJ Styles is still gunning for him as well, and Dragon Lee's still involved in this picture for some reason. But you know, I really dig what they're doing with Dirty Dom. I feel like he has come into his own, and you know, he's not getting boos anymore. He is getting loud pops. I think other than Rhea Ripley, he got the loudest pop of any superstar on Monday Night Raw because people are loving what Dirty Dom is doing.
Yeah, and a couple things too on top of that. But number one, I was talking about how I was excited that they are building him to be a babyface organically, and a lot of people on TikTok didn't understand what that was and was confused and saying he shouldn't be a babyface. Okay, well, it doesn't matter what you want. So organically means that you are a professional wrestler and you're so over as a heel and you are so hated that eventually the fans realize how talented and amazing you are that they start to cheer you. It happened with Stone Cold, Triple H, The Rock, Shawn Michaels. The list goes on and on.
Roman Reigns.
Thank you. They were booed and hated until they were finally respected once they embraced their full heelness. And that's how it works. And that's what happened to Dom. So with that said, we had the whole, you know, I don't care about the IC one, but you better tell your boys to get ready for a tag team title match and you can let Finn know. What say you about that? Are we finally going to get... Oh, he puts the work. Oh, he's also the only one who hasn't killed kayfabe. This guy will make out with Liv Morgan in public. He constantly makes fun of people in interviews. He doesn't even like pull any... It's not like he's ever like, oh, well, you know, Dirty Dom, when I was script writing. No, he's like, this guy's trash. My dad's a deadbeat. He's in character at all times. Only person in wrestling who does that still, including The Undertaker, who's never in freaking character anymore. But with that said, what say you about this little... Obviously... them setting up a tag team match and basically putting it on Dom means we're going to get more conflict between Finn Balor and JD McDonough when they come back next week. Are we getting the Liv Morgan return? Are we getting the babyface turns? What's happening?
I think we need Liv Morgan back. The women's division needs her back significantly. So it's got to happen. I mean, but we don't know the extent of her injury. We don't know how severe it is. We don't know how close she is to returning. So I don't think they're going to do it on Raw. I think next week is going to be all about the Seth Rollins stuff, and it's going to be a pretty heavy thing. So I don't think we're going to get the return of Liv Morgan next week. I think we're going to get... No,
not next week, but it's not happening at the Royal Rumble where people are...
No. I could see it happening at like Saturday night's main event. I could see it happening at the next AAA event. I could see it happening at War Games, but not at the Rumble. That's too far out.
Yeah, I agree. But it's happening, and they're both going to leave the Judgment Day. Well, Judgment Day, I think, will break up altogether. They're already... Raquel and Roxanne aren't even barely around them anymore. All right. Well, that was our Monday Night Raw review. It was a good show. I'm glad I watched it like at 8 a.m. I watched it at 8 a.m. my time, so it was already like 3 hours past. It was already done by the time I watched it. But with that said, let's talk about NXT, something that was another good show. And something that happened that was on regular time. I can watch it normally, not just having to wake up with coffee at 4 a.m. to catch this card. But we opened up with Ricky Saints basically getting challenging Trick Williams at Halloween Havoc, basically saying he wants him. I kind of like it. If those of you don't know, Trick lost his TNA championship to Santana, so he lost it to Max Santana. So he's no longer the TN. He's no longer Trick NA. He's now wanting back that NXT championship. They're going to wrestle at Halloween Havoc. Trick later on attacked Ricky Saints, knocked him out. Ava went to go help him out. Ricky Saints looked up her skirt, got a little bit of a peek. They were flirting before that as well when he talked about that he wanted him at Halloween Havoc. After that, then Ricky Saints, basically, they're going to do the contract signing. She assured that Trick was gone, whatever else. What say you? Excited about this? Saints and Trick. Is this the last call for Trick? Is he moving on to bigger and better things? And are we getting something between Ricky Saints and Ava, which would be really weird because Ava is the daughter of The Rock and Ricky Saints is compared as being a modern day Rock. But I guess they say girls always marry their father. So what say you?
Yeah. I'm excited. I mean, Ricky Saints, his championship reign is going to go from beating Obafemi to beating Trick Williams. That's a pretty strong start to your NXT championship reign. And I do think it means that bigger things are on the horizon for Trick Williams, whether it's a spot in TNA, whether it's a call up to the main roster, or maybe just he stays in NXT for a while. and continues, doing his thing in the main event scene down there. I don't know, but I'm excited for this match. I think Ricky Saints is they're building him up beautifully, and this was all about Ricky Saints. The one thing I didn't like about this episode of NXT was they opened the show and they showed highlights from last week's NXT Showdown, which was, it was fine, like whatever. It was. They showed Trick Williams walking out. They show, everybody, and then they go right into the ring and they show everybody coming into the building for NXT. They didn't talk anything about Bound for Glory. They didn't talk anything about Trick Williams losing his title at Bound.
Nothing.
Like even when Trick Williams came on screen, they didn't even say like he lost his title. They were just like, there's Trick Williams who was aiming for his championship back. He didn't even mention losing at Bound for Glory. It was really, really strange. I didn't understand that. Kalani Jordan barely got mentioned for defending and winning keeping her championship at Bound for Glory in the women's main event. It was just very, very strange. I was really confused because Bound for Glory is like the equivalent of TNA's WrestleMania. It's like the biggest show of the year, and they didn't even mention it. They just showed clips from last week's Showdown when Trick walked out on Ricky Saints, and that's what's going to tease the tension between the two. And I get that's what you're building to, but I didn't like that they didn't mention Bound for Glory at all.
Yeah, and not only that, though, I was kind of surprised that Kalani won. I thought they were going to give it to her. Well, why not? She's in TNA. It's a WrestleMania. Have both belts go back and let's move on from this. It was fun, but it's not really doing what it needs to do, but she kept it anyway. I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird, but yeah, it was a great Santana moment. His daughter, he's like crying, he's happy. Yeah. Although I think there's better TNA wrestlers who could have taken that moment, but they chose Santana. It is what it is, but good for him. He's been all around the world doing an AEW thing. He went from Jericho to being a TNA heavyweight world champion. That's pretty damn cool. Great moment, and you didn't show it at all. And the fact that you showed Trick as a champion of TNA and now he doesn't have it was really weird booking too, because you still had TNA superstars on NXT because they were in the Women's Battle Royal, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, Matt Cardona was on there. Yeah.
And Matt, I want to talk about Matt. Come on. You know what? Let me say something about Matt Cardona. This guy got pretty much dicked by the WWE, although they did let him win the IC title at WrestleMania in his hometown, but he lost it the next night. And they really never did anything with him. He had to push his own self, build his own career. He gets fired. He makes a name for himself. And now he's even allowing himself to come back to NXT and to job to Josh Briggs. But I have to say this about him. This guy needs more respect for his actual wrestling skills. This guy has been working on the indie scenes, doing indie style matches, death matches, and then he comes in and wrestles a perfectly good WWE style match. This guy, Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, he deserves way more credit as an in-ring performer, because you really got, if you really have seen these death matches and his indie work, and then to see him pull off, not everyone could do a WWE style match. That's been proven over and over and over again when AEW guys come over, when WCW guys came over and they look lost. WWE's a whole different world with how they wrestle. Cardona does it flawlessly. Props to him, man. And it was cool to see him back. And they were calling him Cardona. I like it. No mention of Zack Ryder. Just Cardona.
Yeah, they just completely, because they were like, this is the first time in 13 years he's been on NXT. I was like, no, it's not. It's his first time on NXT, because Zack Ryder was the guy.
Not
Matt Cardona. But yeah, no, Matt Cardona, and he's been all over the place this year alone. He's been in TNA, he's been in NXT, he was in AEW. He was in AEW against Adam Copeland for a little while there, and Jericho, and he was in Ring of Honor. Like he's been all over the place. And yeah, that match he did with Josh Briggs, and shout out to him for putting Josh Briggs over. That's a huge win for Briggs.
Yeah, it is. And Josh Briggs got a huge. I mean, they were loving him. Loving him in the sense that they were booing the shit out of him. And like they always say, you know you're doing something right when you're either getting booed or cheered. You're doing something wrong when the crowd is silent. They were booing. They even had a chant going of like, "Let's go, Briggs. You need to get out of." What were they chanting? They were chanting like instead of the Roman Reigns, they were doing like the Briggs, go away. I think that they were saying Josh Briggs, go away. I think that's something like that.
Josh Briggs,
which was hilarious.
Away.
Yeah, it was hilarious. So that means he's getting over because they don't want him there. So. But with that said, we had a women's battle royal to decide the number one contenders for Miss JC Jane. And it looks like she's going to continue on her streak going from she's going to win the belt and lose it the next week to having a super long-ass reign, double champion, because she's wrestling Tatum Paxley, who ended up accidentally eliminating Jordynne Grace to get the win. She's next up. For some reason, her and Lyra Valkyria are best friends. Is Lyra she's in a different, she's not friends with Bailey now. Now she's just friends with Tatum Pack. Once again, all these worlds don't mix. We're all in one, but we don't all share it. But what say you? Are you excited about Tatum Paxley? Easy win for JC Jane, or do you think there's any chance she could win at Halloween Havoc?
No, I'm excited for JC Jane's reign to continue. I'm pleasantly surprised at how well it's gone. We all thought she was going to be a transitional champion, and she was going to lose it the next week to one Blake Monroe. And Blake Monroe wrestled on NXT as well, and her match was fine, wasn't bad, wasn't great, but I think she definitely still has a long way to go before she's ready for the NXT Women's Championship. Her character-wise, she's there, but she needs to connect with the crowd a little bit more. But yeah, I like what they're doing with JC Jane. Tatum Paxley getting the win surprised me, especially with Kalani Jordan, having the TNA Knockouts Championship still. I thought maybe that's what they were doing. They were going to do like a winner-take-all type match at the next PLE. But Kalani Jordan tried her best Kofi Kingston impression in that match, and then got completely just stomped on at the end.
Brutal. That was brutal. She popped up pretty good, so it was well sold by both of them, but that looked brutal.
Yeah, that did look brutal. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited for JC Jane's reign to continue, and I think it will. I don't think Tatum Paxley has a chance, but we also said the same thing about JC Jane winning the NXT champ. We didn't think she had a chance, and she won it. So who knows? NXT, if anything, is proven to be pretty unpredictable.
That is true. And nonetheless, it's good. It was another good show. It was actually good overall because SmackDown was good. Crown Jewel was good. Raw was good. NXT was good. AEW Collision was good. I got to watch Collision again. And Dynamite. We're doing a 3-hour show because there's no weekend this weekend. So, TNA was good this weekend. It's good to be a wrestling fan, man. All these people fighting and bickering, and I could only like one and hate the other. I don't know why wrestling became politics and why politics are even like that. It needs to be like that. Why we all got to be on one side now and not just enjoy both is beyond me. But nonetheless, wrestling, WWE, great week. Now let's get into our segment. You ready, Ryan? And we're bringing it back, sir. Buddy. We brought back Carlito before Carlito was ever brought back into the Judgment Day, and we're doing our legendary "That's Cool, That's Not Cool" segment. Well, we're gonna talk all things. There it is. That's not cool. That's not cool. And yes, check the receipts. We brought this back before Carlito was ever brought back, and we're keeping it going after he leaves. So maybe Carlito, get this out to Carlito. Tag him in here. Add him. So maybe he'll be on our show. We can interview him and have him do the skit with us. Do some "That's Cool" and "That's Not Cool." But nonetheless, we're going to talk about a couple things each, and we're going to state if we think it's cool or not cool. Ryan, you're up first. Hit me with your best shot.
All right, let's go. Let's see. We want to do this. All right, let's have some fun. Let's do some fantasy booking for War Games and assume that Seth Rollins is injured. So Seth Rollins is out of the picture. So that's cool. That's not cool. Obafemi being called up to the main roster and siding with Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed at War Games.
So it's just them three, isn't it? 4 or 5 in a War Game?
Yeah, but there's it'll be those two, and then Obafemi, and then like 2 other random heels. I'm going to say Brock's not going to be in it, but let's just say.
So you're doing Oba instead of Brock, right? Okay.
Yeah, and like Drew McIntyre and I don't even know another heel, Dirty Dom. Let's just throw him in there.
Well, now that's cool. That's suit you sold me. As soon as it say my doppelganger, you had me, bro. Good thing you can only see me from the boobs up. Good thing I'm wearing this black. My nipples are hard. I would be all for Oba. Oba's a great babyface, but he's also a great heel. I don't know about his vibe, but I think it would work. I think having the Australian Samoan with the white bread redneck with the big old African black. I mean, I feel like that's like a whole love with the Jewish manager leading the way. I mean, this is like the world all in one. That'd be the greatest faction ever. I'd be all for it. I think they would terrorize the world. And if you're not picking Brock, Obafemi's long term, I'm all for that. And then you add in a match with some Drew. the MVP of pro wrestling and the
Yeah.
greatest luchador / heel of all time and Dirty Dom in a fight. I don't care who you put up against them. They lose. The end. Game, set, match. Sign me up, homie.
All right.
It ain't happening, but sign me up. That's
yeah,
cool.
it's not happening. Not happening. But just I like the idea of Obafemi being called up to the main roster and making his main roster debut at War Games. I think that's a pretty cool way for him to start.
I agree. All right, we've talked about it a bunch, but now I just want your honest opinion if you think it's cool or not cool. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Seth Rollins getting turned on by the Vision is a ruse. He uses it to defend his title against CM Punk's and tricks us again. Are we bored of it, or is it catching us off guard? Would it be cool or not cool if Seth Rollins does it again?
That's cool.
I agree.
I think as much as I don't like it, and I still don't like it, and I still think it was stupid for it to happen on Monday Night Raw, the fact that he'd be able to pull this off 2 times in a 3-month span, and every single fan is saying the same thing. Well, they said that he was going down for surgery for his knee injury, and he was on a podcast in a knee brace, and he was on crutches, and they showed him, with the crutches on a video backstage on Twitter. And this time there's a picture of him eating ice cream in Australia with the sling on his arm. Like, why would he?
Random picture.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's changing. It's complete. Every video you make about Seth Rollins, he's due to have surgery. He's going to be out 6 to 12 months is what they're projecting. I'm like, we don't like the fact that this is just another way of WWE telling you, without telling you, to stop listening to the damn dirt sheets because they don't know jack shit about anything. I don't really think they should do it because I think it's an old repetitive story. I think there's a different way that they could go to get that way. But I do like it, especially if it means that the Vision stays together, because I do think Seth Rollins is better in the Vision than without, especially right now. And I still think it was too soon for them to turn. So I'm going to say
that's cool.
All right. My thing is I think the injury thing was a Dave Meltzer fuck up. I don't think this has anything to do with, and I don't think Seth was planning it. I think Seth was in a sling because, once again, I was being serious about the sex. You tweak too much, your doctor puts you in a sling because they want to make sure, you just shouldn't bend it. You shouldn't. A sling means absolute. If you're not in a cast, a heart,
you could be selling stuff from a wrestling match too.
You can literally. So I think maybe he fell hard on it, and they said, hey, while you're roaming around Perth right now, make sure you have a sling on so you're not like really. Let's make sure it's okay before, we'll get it checked on. I think he was just like, all right. And then they took a picture and Dave Meltzer's like, a source that I don't know of, because I know the custodian's cousin's uncle's sister who told me that he heard that Seth was injured and in a sling. Yeah, fool. They have a picture that he set up. And I don't know if that picture was after that. And then he was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to go sell it and put on a sling on purpose. Because I see Seth doing that and going in his own. The ruse I'm saying has nothing to do with the injury. I don't know if they're going to do it, or maybe they will now, because Triple H and Seth are the biggest trolls. They like to troll the internet. That's what you're saying. I made a video not saying that he wasn't injured, saying that there was no proof, that there's no evidence, that I'm not going to say he's injured. And people are like, bro, he's injured. Bro, so many people, those are the same people. Remember, I responded to I had like 500 comments on my one that I made predicting that what happened with Seth, he was going to fake it, use it to win the title, and he did it. I predicted it almost word for word, and I went at every single person. Like 2 of those 500 people went back at me, was like, yeah, you're right. Everyone else ignored me. Like, it's so big to talk. Like, I'm not even saying he's not or is. I'm just saying it hasn't been confirmed. So why are you saying, because Dave Meltzer knows absolutely nothing. I would give you 20% Sean Ross Sapp, even though he's an idiot as well. But at least he gets it right more than Dave Meltzer. But he's wrong. He was the guy that just said, homeboy left freaking whatever. Santos Escobar, and he didn't leave anywhere. He was just signing the contract. It was already in ink by the time the moron said that. So that's what I mean. But nonetheless, I'm talking about the ruse itself being they beat him up and he's out of the Vision wink. But really,
I still think that's
the ruse, because then it's a different ruse. That's what I'm saying. So we got us again. That's what I'm saying. And now, if that is the plan, imagine going on in their heads right now. They're like, oh my God. Thank you, Dave Meltzer. You got people talking. Now people aren't even thinking about this. We were going this way. Now you have everyone going this way because everyone thinks he's injured again. Like, they're probably like sending him money. Thank you, Dave. And he doesn't even know it. They're like, thank you for pushing our thing. But I would think that's cool.
I-
Long story. I talked way too long. Yeah, go ahead.
I do think it's cool, and I think that I still think, they got to come up with a way to turn Braun then, like whenever he does turn on Seth, whatever that is, because he's going to turn on him inevitably, and it's just a matter of when, not if. And so I think they're going to have to come up with a different way to make you for sure know that Braun has turned on him, instead of making you think, oh, here we go with the ruse. So I am worried about when he does eventually turn, that it's going to lessen the impact on it. But for the moment, yeah, I would love it. Bring it on.
100%. And he might come on Monday Night Raw and say he's vacating and that. But once again, if he does, I don't think that had anything to do with this turn. I think they planned this and they weren't sure about this. They were doing this no matter what. But they went really thick, bro. They went really, really heavy on it, the whole Raw. Oh, I could do this all myself. I've never needed help. Oh my God, I love you guys so much. Oh, without you guys, we're so much stronger now. We're all such a team. And then they turn. We don't need you anymore. It was just so caked on that it seems like it was planned. Yeah. He never talks like that way at all. And all of a sudden now he's just laying it on as thick as possible so he can get turned on. So it feels more impactful. I don't know. Really, it smells fishy, bro. Smells like someone hasn't showered in a minute, if you know what I mean. All right. What's your last one? Let's get it. That's cool. That's not cool.
Yeah, we'll go to the women's division. Somebody we haven't talked about, but we'll talk Mrs. Seth Rollins. She's got a match coming up, not either next week on Raw or Saturday Night's Main Event. I can't keep up with all these events. But, against Maxine Dupree. So that's cool or that's not cool. Maxine Dupree dethrones Becky Lynch and becomes the new Women's Intercontinental Champion.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but that's like the most uncoolest thing I've ever heard in my life. Here's my thing, right?
That's not cool.
Look at Maxine. She's cute. She's hot. She's got some legs. She's gotten better in the ring. But like Becky Lynch is legit doing the greatest work of her career right now. And we're going to do all that to give it to Maxine Dupree, who his only good match she was carried in. I can have a good match with Becky Lynch right now, and I ain't wrestled a day in my life. Like, she could carry me. That's how good Becky Lynch is. And I don't think people realize that. People shit on Becky. They have no idea how good it really is in the ring and outside of it. No, she can push a better younger star. I think she can give it to somebody else. No, I think Maxine's win and her push was that count out. After that, I think Becky's going to mop the floor with her. So I'll say that's not cool.
I don't know, man. Yeah, they might. I feel like they're giving her the Chad Gable treatment, where Chad Gable's first win over Gunther was a count out. Yeah, but and then he finally got to face him again, and he was like, I'm going to stop at nothing, and then he ended up losing. I feel like Triple H is going to try to right that wrong and have Maxine Dupree be the one to shock the world and upset Becky Lynch, because Triple H loves a good shock story, as we've seen with everything that happened on Raw. He loves to shock the audience, and even bringing the MFTs back on SmackDown, and now they're feuding with the Wyatt Six on SmackDown, and Aleister Black and Zelina Vega are together. Like, he loves a good shock. It would shock everybody. It would shock everybody for Maxine Dupree, but I do think there's a better up and coming star for her to drop it to as well. So I'm going to go.
That's not cool.
Nah, even if it's a shock, doesn't make it cool. All right, my last one. I predicted this about 3 months ago, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit longer. Once again, check my receipts. I did it before Santi said it on the Chris Van Fleet show. I said it before. Well, he steals my stuff too. I said it before everybody. I have proof. You can check my damn records. When I admit, I say it. If I didn't, I won't say it. But if I did, I'll admit it. But cool or not cool, John Cena's last match will be him defeating Dominic Mysterio at Saturday Night's Main Event and ending his career, winning the belt he has never, ever won and becoming the Intercontinental Champion. Cool or not cool?
That's cool.
Got to do something big. You can't win the title.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be Gunther. I know everyone's on the Gunther bandwagon. I think it should 100%. I think it should, and we all know how he is, but I think it should 100% be Dirty Dom. I think that's the only play here. That's the only thing that makes any sense. Let him win the Intercontinental Championship. And then I made a video about this not too long ago myself, saying that I think John Cena should win the Intercontinental Championship and then keep the retirement tour going after Saturday night's main event. I think he should win it and then be like, whoever beats me for this title, whenever I lose, that's when I actually retire. Because you don't want to give him the title just to have him vacate it. So he's going to win the title. He's going to do what Mickey James did in TNA. Whenever she lost the women's title, that was it. That was a wrap. And then he wrestles at WrestleMania against Dirty Dom, who gets his rematch for the Intercontinental Championship. And Dirty Dom beats John Cena. Dirty Dom gets the win over John Cena, and he gets the opportunity to say that he retired John Cena, and now he's going to retire his deadbeat dad, and he's going to retire AJ Styles all within next year. And Dirty Dom is going to be continue his reign as the greatest luchador of all time.
Man, my jeans right now, I'm telling you. They are soaked. I love it, but here's the thing, right? Did you see what LeBron James just did recently where he did a fake announcement and then the Laker ticket sales went up? Do you remember that? They went like all the way up.
Oh, yeah.
From $80 and like $900.
And then
did you hear about John Cena's retirement tour tickets
just went on
sale? But now he's like hurt anyway. So so LeBron James just like effed up people's like lives like by selling these ticket prices. John Cena's last match at Saturday Night's main event ticket sales just went on. Did you see those prices? They like sold out. Did you see that? Yeah. Imagine if you just spent $3,000, $4,000 to sit in the row 500s to watch John Cena wrestle as the last match, and then he continues on wrestling throughout WrestleMania. Dude, that would make some people fucking lose their minds, bro. I spent all that money to watch John Cena. I mean, they could still say they won, and I don't think Triple H cares, and TKO doesn't care. So I'd actually think TKO would hear your idea and take it and run with it, going, that's brilliant. More money for us. I could see them doing that. But either way, I think it's cool if he does, because you got to make it memorable. Him beating Gunther isn't memorable. Him even beating Roman wouldn't be memorable enough. Him winning the belt that he never won would be memorable. That would be epic. And it could be a good match. Dominic's now getting cred. He's beating people. If he has Liv on his corner, if he's a babyface, baby. And then if he vacates it afterwards, because he won and vacates it, then you can have a tournament, crown a new person, or you can give Dom it right back. I mean, but either way, it's a good rub for Dom. Good thing for Cena. I think it's cool. I think it needs to happen. Last match ever. Let him win that IC belt. He should have already won it. That should have been the belt he won and carried, not the world championship, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I like that idea. And I do think, I don't know though. I don't know if people would be pissed if John Cena continued their tour. I think
the people who bought the tickets.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But then they could do another Raw in Boston and kind of end things the way they should. There's and also does he, you know how John Cena cares about what people think. Like he's one of those people that does care about what the fans think of him. And
that's why he switched gears on his tour. Yeah.
Yeah. Does he really want that last match at WrestleMania with Cody Rhodes to be what we remember him by?
Oh, that match shit.
Because it was awful. So I could see him extending it to WrestleMania so he can finally end WrestleMania with a great match and put over a young talent on his way out. And that young talent being Dirty Dom.
I agree. All right. Well, Wes has been putting it in the comments, but also if you're not watching us live, put in the comments what you think is cool and not cool. All right.
I hate Chad Gable coming back as Cena's last match.
That's better than everyone trying to hope Kurt Angle's going to do it. All right.
Or Edge.
Edge. Yeah, Edge. You think you know me with TK. I am in W. Like, that would never happen. All right. Let's get into it. It's our weekly segment. We've already been doing this show for way too long. It is LVD and MVD, where we're going to do our least valuable and most valuable dude or dude out of the week. It's not that we hate or love you. It means that you were the worst or best booked at this week in WWE. Ryan, who's your LVD this week?
I got to admit, it was really hard to find one this week.
It really was.
I was like, who had a rough week? And the only person that I could really, really think of is none other than the Yeet Man himself, Mr. Jey Uso, because he cost Roman Reigns. He speared Roman Reigns inadvertently. He speared Roman Reigns and threw a table and cost Roman Reigns the match against Bronson Reed. And then on Monday Night Raw, he turns around in a number one contenders match and gets pinned by CM Punk to for Punk to become the number one contender. And then him and Jimmy are still bickering back and forth backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Roman doesn't want to see him until Christmas. When Roman told him to stay out of the ring, Jimmy only came out because Jay came out. Jay Uso screwed everything up. Jay's kind of being a dick to everybody right now. Jay Uso was the LVD of the week for me this week.
That's funny. I don't even got to say anything. Same. And for all the same reasons. I literally sat there all day. I was like, who am I going to pick? Nobody. Actually, Jey Uso is having an awful week. Awful. Yeah. He looks like a scrub. He looks like a chump. Yeah. Jey Uso for all the reasons you said. Same one.
It was really hard to pick somebody. I was like, I was going to go Damian Priest. I was going to go but yeah, nobody had a rougher week than one Jey Uso.
No. And he even half turned on the crowd. He was like telling them like, blah, blah. He was like, dude, that's the only reason why you're around right now, dude, is that they like you. Don't make them hate you. All right. Well, let's end on a positive like we always do. Let's see if we have the same one. The MVD of the week. Let's hear it, Ryan.
I'm going with a pair of wrestlers, and that is John Cena and AJ Styles for that amazing match they gave us at Crown Jewel on Saturday. I think that match was, again, match of the year, could be match of the last 5 years. It's the best John Cena match I've ever seen. Like I said before, where in the hell did this come from with John Cena? Like, he's 48 years old, 49 years old, and he's having that kind of a match. But yet, like, where was this when he was in his prime? Because he was not doing these kinds of matches. And this, maybe it's AJ Styles. I don't know. But AJ Styles looked really fantastic as well. He can wrestle a mop, and it would be a fantastic match. So, but that match, man, like, that match had everything. It had the emotions to it. It had the storytelling to it. It had the respect. It had all the finishers. It was just a fun, entertaining match. I don't think these guys get the credit that they deserve. So I'm going to give it to John Cena and AJ Styles for giving us the match of the decade at Crown Jewel.
Well said. And I swear to everybody listening, we do not plan this. That's exactly who I had as well, was AJ and John, for all the same reasons. No point to even talk anymore. That was everything well said. It has to be them. They literally had the match of the year, like you said, maybe the match of the past few years. Just beautifully done. Art. I think it boosts AJ Styles big time, and it already did. He was on Raw bragging and maybe going back at Dirty Dom again. So yeah, but we'll find out. But nonetheless, great way to do it, and I'm ready to see who John Cena faces next, and hopefully he keeps his trend going around wrestling people. I think he's got the Miz on his horizon as well. The Miz was saying how upset he was that he hasn't wrestled him. He's one of the few people currently still wrestling that wrestled John Cena and had feuds with him that isn't retired and that he can actually wrestle. Yeah, and he beat him at WrestleMania main event, so why not have them wrestle again? But yes, sir. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. That's our week of WWE. As always, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends, tell your mama, tell all your wrestling peeps, all you people that when you watch Raw early and you're talking with all your friends afterwards, let them all know about these two dudes with attitudes. We want to get our views up again here. We're back to back, man. We're posting consistently now. We're back every week. I told you we'd figure out the schedule, and we did. Also, we'll be back for, if you like AEW, we're going to talk all thing AEW. We got 2 collisions at Dynamite plus predictions. So you don't want to miss that, because we're almost always right with our predictions. And as always,
we get the match order right this time too. Yeah.
Well, so you're never going to get an AEW match order right, bro. There's 17 matches. And with that said, too, if you just want to listen to me talk, you can catch me at my_wrestling_opinion on all your social media. TikTok's starting to give me love. I'm almost at 5,000 on Instagram. I'm over just about at 17 on TikTok, so I'm getting there. Keep helping push me, get me going. And with me, as always, is
Ryan Enjoys Wrestling on all the social medias as well. Go follow me over there. Go follow us on X at 2DudesPC. We are live tonight on the YouTube, so go subscribe to our channel at 2 Dudes with Attitudes. We're also live on Twitch, where Legend Killer West was talking to us, and we appreciate his love and support as well. So we're at 2 Dudes _ with Attitudes there. We're on Instagram at 2 Dudes with Attitudes Podcast. We need to get that page going, so go follow us over there. And then if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, where we are in the top 10% of all listened to pro wrestling podcasts. Let's keep that momentum going. Let's get us into the top 5%, the top 1%. Tell everyone about your favorite 2 dudes. You can do that by leaving a 5-star rating and review. You can help us grow, help us get up there, help us climb the ranks. And we appreciate all the love and support. Go out there and tell everyone about your favorite dudes on the internet.
2 Dudes Wolfpack. We out.
2 dudes with attitudes. Let's go. 2 dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're riding and denting, they here to get your attention. A 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on time to lie.